This is the FM Gold channel of All India Radio. In this special bilingual program, now we bring the discussion on pre-budget analysis on digital economy. The participants are cyber experts Jiten Kumar Jain and Pavan Duggal. Ruchika Chitravanshi, journalist, initiates and moderates the discussion.
Digitization is the flavor of the times. Whether it is a public sector enterprise or a middle-sized business, startups, banking sector, wherever you go, the pace at which digitization is happening is incredible. Not only is this a challenge for us, it is also a big opportunity. Now that the budget is going to be announced very soon on the 1st of February, I'd like to ask you, Jitin, what is it that the government can do to empower this digital economy?
You see, right now, the situation is obviously, as everyone is aware, we are sort of in an economic turmoil. And since government is aiming for a $5 trillion economy, I think government somehow has a target in mind to create a $1 trillion digital economy by 2025. And now to do that, there are only two growth mechanisms which are currently visible and available. One is that how can we boost innovation, especially in the sector of AI and in supported services. Second is the 5G and related services. So because telecom companies are also, situation where they do not have much room for additional investments, I think the major expectation will come from AI and assisted services from the startups which are operating in India. In that context, I think government is targeting twofold approach. One is that how do you sort of empower innovation by helping them file patents, by helping them get infrastructure at subsidized prices, or by creating a common pool of infrastructure through NIC, especially for facial recognition and other supportive technologies. And second interesting area is that how do you actually then sort of finance this entire infrastructure investment for the startups. So for that, government has already created a 10,000 crore fund of funds through SIDBI, where government is investing along with private investors. So I think as Ravi Shankar Prasad recently said in an NIC conclave, that in last 5 years we have put policy in place, we have put money in place, and now it is time that for the next 5 years we should focus on the aspirations so that we can fuel the economic growth.
अभी जो आपने बात करी कि कैसे कॉमन पूल थ्रू फेशियल रिकग्निशन बनेगा, एक ये इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट है। पवन जी, आपसे जानना चाहेंगे, जैसे हम डिजिटाइजेशन कर रहे हैं इकोनॉमी का, कि कई चैलेंजेस उभर के आ रहे हैं, डेटा प्राइवेसी का इशू है, डेटा लोकलाइजेशन का इशू है, इस सबको हम कैसे एड्रेस कर सकते हैं?
मुझे लगता है कोई भी प्रणाली जब आप स्थापित करना चाहते हैं, आवश्यकता जरूर होती है कि आप सुदृढ़ कानूनी पहलू सामने रखें ताकि लोगों को न केवल सर्टेनिटी हो सके, लेकिन साथ ही साथ तसल्ली भी मिल सके कि एक और इकोनॉमी तो अपनी ग्रोथ कर रही है, वहां दूसरी ओर इस इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ के साथ साथ कहीं ना कहीं हम लोगों के जो अधिकार हैं उनकी इंजॉयमेंट में कोई खलल न मच सके। तो इसके लिए बहुत जरूरी है कि आप फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट को और अगर भारतवासियों के ट्रस्ट को जीतना चाहते हैं तो आप लीगल फ्रेमवर्क्स को सही रखें। आज के दौर पे ये फ्रेमवर्क्स फिलहाल ज्यादा सही नहीं नजर आ रहे। ऑलरेडी संसद ने जो डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बिल 2019 था वो ज्वाइंट संसदीय कमेटी को दे दिया है, अब उसको देख रही है। उसको लेकर बहुत दिक्कतें हैं। पहली बात तो ये है कि अब अगले 5 साल सारा खेल डेटा का होने वाला है, तो भारत की क्या इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ होगी, उसमें डेटा और डेटा इकोनॉमी का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण रोल होने वाला है। इसके लिए आवश्यकता है कि आप उन्हें सुचारू रूप से इनेबलिंग लीगल प्रोविजंस दें। फिलहाल हो क्या रहा है, हम लोगों ने GDPR, जो कि यूरोपियन एक प्रकरण है, उसको एज इट इज ही मुख्य तौर पर कॉपी करने का प्रयास किया है और उसको भारतीय पर्यावरण में इंट्रोड्यूस करने की कोशिश की है, जो मुझे लगता है कि एलियन कॉन्सेप्ट है और शायद इतनी जल्दी सफल नहीं हो पाएगा। कहीं ना कहीं आवश्यकता है कि आप कानूनी पहलुओं के साथ साथ उनका भारतीयकरण भी करें, क्योंकि अगर आप स्ट्रेट अवे कट एंड पेस्ट करके यहां डाल देंगे तो शायद वो इतनी ज्यादा अमल में नहीं सफलता प्राप्त कर पाएगा। दूसरी महत्वपूर्ण बात, लोग आज कुछ भी इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ देख रहे हैं, उसके साथ अपनी प्राइवेसी, अपनी निजता को साथ साथ मैप अप कर रहे हैं। वो इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ तो जरूर चाहते हैं, बल्कि ये भी साथ साथ चाहते हैं कि हमारी इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ के साथ साथ कहीं ना कहीं हमारी जो बहुत मुश्किल से जीती हुई लड़ाई है अपनी निजता के अधिकार को लेकर, वो कहीं ना कहीं दोबारा से हम शायद डिफीट ना हो जाए, हम उसे खो ना दें। इसलिए अब जो कुछ भी आप डेटा इकोनॉमी या डिजिटल प्रकरण संबंधी आप प्रावधान लेकर आएंगे बजट में, आपको देखना होगा और लोगों को विश्वास दिलाना होगा कि इन प्रावधानों से लोगों के जो निजता का अधिकार है उसका कहीं हनन नहीं होगा। और अगर ऐसा हनन होने की संभावनाएं भी हुई तो सरकार को तैयार होना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि एक अंबार खुल जाएगा नए प्रकार की लिटिगेशंस का, मुकदमेबाजियों का। तो आवश्यकता आज भारत को ये है कि कम से कम मुकदमेबाजी हो, ज्यादा से ज्यादा सुदृढ़ एनेबलिंग लीगल प्लेटफॉर्म हो और लोगों का ध्यान इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ की तरफ ज्यादा जाए, बनस्पत इस बात को लेकर कि हमारे जो राइट्स हैं उनका हनन हो रहा है या नहीं। तो बहुत ज्यादा सामंजस्य स्थापित करने की आवश्यकता है दोनों विशिष्ट पहलुओं को लेकर। अब वो कैसे सामंजस्य स्थापित होगा, ये आने वाला समय और कुछ दिनों बाद बजट ही बताएगा।
जितिन, जैसा कि पवन जी कह रहे हैं, ये सामंजस्य बैठाने की जरूरत है। हाउ डू यू थिंक वी विल स्ट्राइक दिस बैलेंस एंड हाउ वैलिड आर दीज कंसर्न्स अकॉर्डिंग टू यू?
If you look at last 3 years, there's been a very heated debate about the data privacy in India. और सरकार के सामने इतनी कड़ी चुनौतियां हैं कि जहां उन्होंने शायद एक उम्मीद करी कि जो स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं टेक्नोलॉजी के, उनका साथ मिले, समाज का हमें साथ मिले एक इकोनॉमिक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के अंदर, वो शायद साथ मिला नहीं। और गवर्नमेंट के सामने चुनौती ये है कि ये सारी जो चीजें हो रही है राष्ट्रहित में तो वो करना चाहते हैं, पर कहीं ना कहीं समाज बहक रहा है या बहकावे में आ रहा है और एक सुधरत व्यवस्था कायम नहीं हो पा रही। उदाहरण के लिए आधार, जो एक तरह से टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल करके ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल मैकेनिज्म था कि सब्सिडीज को में करप्शन को रोका जाए या एक तरह से कॉमन एंटिटीज क्रिएट करी जाए, या सब्सिडीज बैंक अकाउंट जो किसानों के खोलने थे कागजों के बिना दौड़ भाग के अकाउंट खुल जाए, ये छोटे छोटे जो बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक्स थे एक लार्जर इकोनॉमी की तरफ, उसका भी विरोध डेटा प्राइवेसी के नाम पे हुआ कि सरकार शायद इस डेटा का गलत इस्तेमाल कर ले। दूसरे प्रकरण हुए चुनावों को प्रभावित करने के लिए विदेशी कंपनियों पर आरोप लगे, फेसबुक के ऊपर, कैम्ब्रिज एनालिटिका के ऊपर कि साथ ये कंपनियां डेटा प्रोफाइल करती हैं या भारतीयों के डेटा का इस्तेमाल करके पैसा तो कमाया जाता है, पर न तो भारत के कानून के प्रति जवाबदेही होती है, न ही भारत के अंदर जो चीज से पैसा बना उसका टैक्स चुकाया जाता है। तो इतना बड़ा जो एक कहावत है कि डेटा इज द न्यू ऑयल इन इंडिया, ये मुकेश अंबानी ने भी कहा, विश्व में सारे लोग कह रहे हैं, तो भारत खाली डेटा न्यू ऑयल की बात नहीं है। हम इस तेल का सबसे बड़ा कुआं हिंदुस्तान के अंदर है, सबसे ज्यादा विश्व फोन में स्मार्टफोन की आबादी हिंदुस्तान के अंदर है, फेसबुक, व्हाट्सएप, ये सारे प्लेटफॉर्म के सबसे ज्यादा यूजर्स हिंदुस्तान के अंदर है। तो सरकार ने एक चीज साफ साफ कही कि इस बार हम डेटा प्राइवेसी का कानून लेकर आएंगे और उसके अंदर ग्रेडेड व्यवस्था की बात करी गई कि जो छोटी कंपनियां हैं, हमारी स्टार्टअप्स हैं, हमारे यहां जो इनोवेशन हो रहा है, अगर उनको मुकाबला अमेजॉन, फ्लिपकार्ट से या भारत की ही बड़ी कंपनियों से करना है तो कैसे एक लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड बनाई जाए। और दूसरा ये कहा गया कि जो डेटा है भारतीयों का, जिसके ऊपर पैसा कमाया जा रहा है, जिसके ऊपर टैक्स नहीं चुकाया जा रहा, वो डेटा का मालिकाना हक किसका है। और इस कानून में, जो ड्राफ्ट कानून में साफ साफ कहा गया कि इस डेटा के ऊपर मालिकाना हक न तो कंपनियों का होगा, न सरकार का, पर नागरिकों का होगा, और जो भी होगा नागरिकों की सहमति और कंसेंट से होगा। तो अब जो कानून के अंदर जो व्यवस्था है कि अगर जब आप अपने डेटा के मालिक बनते हैं, वो तभी हो सकता है कि सरकार आपके उस बुनियादी हक को इन्फोर्स भी कर सके। उसके लिए सरकार ने कहा कि डेटा लोकलाइजेशन होगा। देखिए, ये सबसे बड़ा कंट्रोवर्शियल पॉइंट इस आने वाले बजट का भारत की डिजिटल नीति का है कि जो बड़ी कंपनियां हैं बाहर की, वो तैयार नहीं है भारत के अंदर डेटा लोकलाइज करने के लिए। हमारे अपने हिंदुस्तान की बड़ी कंपनियां और जो सॉफ्टवेयर एसोसिएशन जैसा नैस्कॉम हुआ, वो इसका विरोध कर रही हैं इस नाम पे कि जो छोटी कंपनियां हैं उनके पास इतना पैसा नहीं है यहाँ पे डेटा लोकलाइज करने का, वो रेंटेड सर्विसेज बाहर हायर करती हैं। तो इस बजट में शायद एक हमें ये देखने को मिले कि डेटा लोकलाइजेशन के लिए, क्योंकि जैसे दुग्गल साहब ने कहा कि प्राइवेसी के कंसर्न को, डिबेट को, बड़े राष्ट्रहित को एड्रेस करना जरूरी है, इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ को फ्यूल करना जरूरी है, तो शायद एक स्टिक एंड कैरेट पॉलिसी आए कि अगर डेटा लोकलाइज नहीं करेंगे तो बहुत बड़ी पेनल्टीज आपको देनी पड़े, और अगर आप डेटा लोकलाइज करने के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट करेंगे, यहाँ पे डेटा सेंटर बनाने के लिए आप इन्वेस्टमेंट करेंगे, तो शायद आपको टैक्स हॉलिडे या एक तरह से इंसेंटिव्स जो है वो स्टार्टअप्स को, आईटी कंपनीज को दिए जाए। तो ये एक मुझे लग रहा है कि सबसे बड़ा नीतिगत फैसला इस बजट के अंदर शायद आएगा कि अगर भारत को आने वाले समय में अगर डेटा का हब, डेटाबेस इकोनॉमी बनाना है, तो शायद सरकार इंसेंटिव्स इस क्षेत्र के अंदर स्पेसिफिकली स्टार्टअप्स को दे।
Pawan, I'd like to ask you that on one hand, obviously we are dealing with all these issues of data privacy, data localization, and still there is such a large part of our economy, the small and medium enterprises, etc., which are still getting fully digitized, using the AI to boost their productivity, etc. How can government enable such activities for these segments?
Clearly, the government will have to come up with huge incentivization schemes aimed for the SMEs. The reason for this is very clear. India has till now always missed the technological bus. We've always been late arrivals at the party. Now, for the first time, the opportunity has come for India as a nation to show its thought leadership, its commitment, its priority on newly emerging technologies, whether it's the artificial intelligence paradigm, whether it's the Internet of Things, whether it's blockchain, or whether it's the new 5G. Now, clearly, allocations of appropriate budgets and monies will have to be done so as to boost the adoption and further growth of these kinds of technologies in the country. In the last few budgets, we've only been seeing lip service to some of these technologies, but we haven't seen much allocation of budgets. Similarly, cybersecurity, humongous area, which Indian budget has notoriously never been addressing it properly. Today, with 2019 gone by and the world having already found out that it has lost more than $2 trillion as a result of cybersecurity breaches and considering the fact that large number of cybersecurity breaches today go completely unreported in the country, it's time for India to come up with appropriate mechanisms so as to protect, prevent further dissemination of cybersecurity breaches, and to encourage the adoption of cybersecurity as a culture amongst all layers of economic players, whether it's the small and medium sectors, whether it's big corporates. I think the kind of allocation on budgets that India currently requires on cybersecurity is something that has yet escaped the attention of the government. But I hope that maybe this budget could be a watershed in terms of not just recognizing the significance of cybersecurity breaches and its prejudicial, detrimental impact upon the Indian economy, but more significantly could also allocate substantial sums of money so as to go ahead and not just beef up the cybersecurity of India's critical information infrastructure, but also for the purposes of dissemination of more awareness and capacity building programs amongst all stakeholders on the context of cybersecurity. Further, artificial intelligence is beginning to see massive advances. But while globally we have seen in the US, California has an ecosystem which allows these kinds of so-called innovations to take place, but India clearly lacks that innovation. So some kind of governmental help, assistance and fillip is absolutely required so as to give the right kind of focus and thrust to the further growth and development of artificial intelligence. So I hope these technological paradigms and pillars are well recognized in the budget, and I hope the budget not only does mere lip service to them, but also allocates a substantial amounts of monies so as to be spent for the further dissemination and adoption of these kinds of technologies in India to be seen as a vehicle for India's economic growth in the coming times.
This kind of reminds me of this whole industrial 4.0 revolution policy that we were talking about. And there was this whole issue of AI and how AI can be used in sectors such as manufacturing to achieve economies of scale. And this discussion has been happening for past many years. Jitin, why haven't we been able to do anything? And why is it that compared to our neighboring countries and the big global economies, India has not been able to use AI effectively in sectors such as manufacturing?
To put in very simple terms for our listeners, AI is nothing but an attempt for the replication of human mind. And like every human mind, it also learns its decision-making power based on the experience. Like you and me, when we grew up as kids, we learned certain things, and as mature adults, we take our decisions based on those experiences. It's same with AI. To have a good AI, to have a good powerful AI, you need to train that AI on a good data set. Like if you were to feed up, AI which is into the medical sector, like, softwares like IBM Watson, if you feed them with the data, medical data of 5 million cancer patients, that AI is likely to make more compassionate, precise choice for the right dose of medicine for that patient. But if you were to train an AI only based on the data of 100 patients, the decision making of that AI may not be that accurate. Now the problem with the South Asian countries and African countries is that for last 70-80 years, because we missed the first 3 industrial revolutions, we didn't have the structured data in our countries. Unlike West, we didn't have structured data streams. Like we didn't know that how much toll tax was collected. I mean, we could know the financial amount, but what kind of vehicles passed, what was the frequency. There was a lot of data available on the transportation sector which was not available, insurance sector, finance sector. So in last 5 to 7 years, government is going on the open data initiative where they're opening up a lot of government sector data for innovation under licensing and agreements to the startups, especially in defense and transport sector. So to train any sort of AI, you need good data, and not only the good data, but a good quantum of data which can make the learning easier and faster and accurate. So we have only been taking this initiative for last 5 years, whereas this has been happening for 25 years in Western China. So I'm sure in the times to come, because now we are creating new data sets, we are structuring our, if you look at the government gov.in on the government website, almost all sectors are encouraging people to just gather data, structure it and put it online for the innovations for the startups so that products could be built over it. So how could you use the agricultural sector data for the precision farming? How could you help farmer using the weather forecast? Could you predict? Could you use drones and AI not only for defense but to help farmers? तो ये जो कुछ नए इनिशिएटिव्स आ रहे हैं जहाँ पे आप जो टेक्नोलॉजीज हमने खाली सोचा कि डिफेंस और पुलिसिंग वगैरह में यूज होंगी, उनका डुअल यूज करके एक सोसाइटी के ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन और एम्पावरमेंट के लिए इस्तेमाल किया जाए. फार्मर्स को एग्रीकल्चर के अंदर, मेडिकल सेक्टर के अंदर. पहले लगता था खाली बिजनेस मीटिंग्स के अंदर स्काइप कॉल वाज द एंड ऑल एंड बी ऑल ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन. बट नाउ वी आर सीइंग एन एज वेयर यूजिंग टेलीमेडिसिन एंड टेलीरोबोटिक्स. Doctors in AIIMS are performing surgeries in the rural parts of India where didn't have this infrastructure. तो एक मुझे लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं अब जो पुश आएगा वो डुअल यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजीज के लिए आएगा, वो उन लोगों के लिए आएगा जो समाज के सबसे अंतिम पायदान पर खड़े हैं। जो बैंकिंग सेक्टर का पुश आएगा, एआई का पुश आएगा, वो उनके लिए आएगा जो 40 लाख लोग नए पहली बार जिन्होंने जनधन अकाउंट्स खोले, कि अभी तक एआई का इस्तेमाल खाली प्रिडिक्ट करने के लिए आपको और मेरे को कौन सा इंश्योरेंस चाहिए उसके लिए हुआ, बट एक किसान को कौन सा अच्छा कॉर्प इंश्योरेंस चाहिए उसके लिए एआई का इस्तेमाल पहले नहीं हुआ, शायद अब उसके लिए आएगा। सो ये जो 2-3 चीजें हम देख रहे हैं कि बिकॉज हमारे पास डेटा सेट्स नहीं थे, इसलिए हम खाली बहुत लिमिटेड सेक्टर में इनोवेशन कर पाए। अब डेटा सेट्स हिंदुस्तान में बन रहे हैं, हमारे इंडिजीनियस डेटा सेट बन रहे हैं, तो इनोवेशन भी होगा और बायस इनोवेशन नहीं होगा। बहुत आरोप विश्व में, जैसे फेशियल रिकॉग्निशन का आप एग्जाम्पल लें, तो सबसे बड़े आरोप हर कंपनी पर लगता है कि साहब आप रेसिस्ट हैं, आप एक ब्राउन स्किन के या एक टोपी पहनने वाले आदमी को आप सस्पेक्ट समझते हैं, व्हाइट स्किन को आपने नहीं समझा, बिकॉज वेस्टर्न कल्चर के डेटा सेट्स पे वो एआई ट्रेन हुई और ये इनबिल्ट बायसेस थे। और शायद आपने देखा होगा सिरी हो या कोई भी हो, एक लड़की की आवाज को सुनाया जाता था, आप बोलते थे जेंडर डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी बायस है। तो अब ये जो चीजें हो रही है, हिंदुस्तान उस मुकाम पर खड़ा है जहां हमारे अपने डेटा सेट्स होंगे, हमारे अपने कल्चर के हिसाब से होंगे, शायद हम जेंडर न्यूट्रल होंगे, हम किसी भी बायस या रेस से न्यूट्रल होंगे और वो इनोवेशंस यहां से निकलेंगी।
You talked of the Jan-Dhan revolution that happened and the whole fintech revolution that is happening in the country. Digitization is a great way of achieving financial inclusion in the country. How much more distance do we need to travel to actually achieve that, and how can digital economy move us closer to that target?
Well, India has seen some mixed results, specifically in the last 5 years. While demonetization was a singular most important catalyst in terms of pushing Indians to adopt the digital transaction, we also have appropriate other figures in the public domain to show that with the advent of re-emergence of cash after demonetization, a lot of Indians are still wanting to go back to traditional, old, comfortable methods of cash. Having said that, there are some irreversible changes that have happened placed. One of the most significant of these, the increased habits of Indians to do transactions online, specifically the younger generations. The coming of these mobile wallets and mobile applications, as also internet banking and mobile banking, have once again ensured that Indians have put in no uncertain terms their commitment to adopt the digital platform for doing transactions. The quantum of cybersecurity breaches that are happening, the volumes of cybercrimes that have arisen after demonetization have been deterring factors, in the sense that people still are very, very afraid and unsure as to whether they should completely go digital. Primarily because the inadequacy of existing infrastructural systems, as also the law to give effective remedy to affected persons in the event they become victims of any cybercrime or a cybersecurity breach. So I think if we want the Indian march towards adoption of the digital paradigm to go unhindered, it's imperative that let's identify some of these roadblocks which are existing on the ground and try addressing them by coming up with effective kind of solutions. So first and foremost, bank frauds are the number one challenge as far as the digital transactions are concerned. Invariably, we would find within our circles or someone who's known to us who's lost his money on a debit card or a credit card transaction or a bank transaction. The fact remains is that once you lose money, getting money back from the bank is a Herculean task. And chances are that 8 out of 10 Indians find that it's not possible to get the money. This is despite the 6th July 2017 notification of the Reserve Bank of India, which categorically mandates banks that customers will have zero liability in case if they report any unauthorized transaction of which they have no connection with, and in all such cases the banks are duty bound to return and credit the said amounts money back to the accounts of the affected persons. But despite the notification, we have been finding that banks have been actually dragging their feet and are finding up with new, innovative and customized excuses so as to potentially prevent the payment of any such monies to the affected persons. So I believe the existing norms in the forms of the notifications need to be effectively implemented. Further, cybercrime convictions are extremely rare in the country. I was the counsel for India's first cybercrime conviction in 2003. And that time when the conviction happened, we were very joyful and hopeful that things will start improving. A new paradigm will start coming in where we will see more cybercrime convictions. But we were wrong, because the ability of the law enforcement agencies to crack cybercrimes and then to prosecute them successfully in a court of law has not been of the optimal level. Further, we've also begun to start seeing that with the changes in the law pertaining to electronic evidence, and with electronic evidence increasingly becoming a difficult, challenging task to be produced and proved in a court of law, it's clear that there are a huge amount of challenges in getting cybercrime convictions. Another historical mistake that India did in 2008 of making almost all cybercrimes, barring a few, as bailable offences, has not contributed to the cause in a positive manner. On the contrary, now, there's complete lack of deterrence under the law. People don't even have any feeling that they will be subject to any kind of penal consequences, even if they are caught doing cybercrimes. So I think those roadblocks need to be appropriately addressed. People need to be made assured that yes, all applicable and available safeguards have been taken, and that in the event, despite all these safeguards, if they find themselves to become victim of a cybercrime or a cybersecurity breach, then there are adequate legal frameworks within a limited statutory period to get monies back.
Maybe these cyber crimes are the reason that, as you rightly mentioned, after demonetization, one good thing that happened was that everybody went to digital in terms of their transactions. But now we're seeing increasingly we are coming back to cash economy. Jitin, do you think it's the fear of such cyber crimes that Indians especially love to hold cash in their hands and do not want to go completely online?
It is true, because you see, if you look at the data of NCRB of last 5 years, 98% of the financial crimes which have been reported across all states, they are clogged by these OTP fraud complaints. That people call you up for linking bank accounts with Aadhaar, fake calls asking for OTPs, and they end up stealing your money from your bank accounts, Paytm wallets and stuff. And because these amounts are 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees, the law enforcement, because it is not like above a particular threshold, they are least interested. Even if they were to investigate, it is very difficult to attribute. And then even if you are able to attribute, it is very difficult to prosecute. And even if you prosecute, it is very difficult to prove beyond doubt and get them punished, as Dugal Sahab rightly said.
And get your money back.
So this fear is driving away certain amount of people from the digital economy. And our government wanted to address that. And that might be one of the key features of this budget, because in the draft data protection bill, the government has come up with a provision which some people are calling draconian, some people are calling it like path breaking, where they say that if for whatever reasons data of any website or institution or organization is stolen or sold off intentionally or unintentionally for whatever reasons without the consent of the customer, then you will be penalized 5% of your turnover. Now mind you, not the 5% of your annual profit, but annual turnover. If the data belong minors under 18, then the quantum of penalty might be 10%. And this is at the first instance. There is no escaping. This is a flat figure you will have to pay. What government initially thought that this will drive the entire ecosystem to deploy some sort of reliable cybersecurity mechanisms across all verticals and industrial sectors. But considering the current state of economy, such sort of additional investments on digital security is going to be difficult for the companies. So what we might see in this budget is the incentivization on the investment of the sectors. So you might get incentivized, you might have some tax rebates or tax holidays, but rebates or some sort of concessions if you invest certain amount of money on cyber security or cyber strengthening of your infrastructure. So that might be one of the most key policy hallmarks of this budget.
We're talking about data a lot. It is hard कि हम data की बात करें और telecom sector की बात ना करें, जो इस वक्त काफी दिक्कतों का सामना कर रहा है. और जिस तरीके के digitization goals हैं हमारे देश के, it will require quite a lot of participation of the telecom sector. How do you see this situation evolving?
फिलहाल जो वर्तमान में घटनाएं घटित हो रही हैं, उनसे कोई बहुत ज्यादा प्रेरणा स्रोत वाली कोई पिक्चर नजर नहीं आती, जहां तक टेलीकॉम सेक्टर की बात है. और अब जब उन्हें इतने सारे पैसे देने पड़ने जा रहे हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट की फैसले की वजह से, तो टेलीकॉम सेक्टर कहता है कि साहब, मैं अब किसी और प्रकार की नई इन्वेस्टमेंट करने के लिए क्षमता नहीं रखता हूं. और संभावित तौर पर शायद वो आने वाले समय में संभावित इन्वेस्टमेंट भी ना कर पाए. इसलिए ज्यादा जरूरत है कि सरकार खासतौर पर टेलीकॉम सेक्टर को इंसेंटिवाइज करे इस पर्टिकुलर बजट में. किस तरीके से करेगी, क्योंकि देखिए ऑलरेडी टेलीकॉम सेक्टर में भी हम एक बहुत ऐतिहासिक परिवर्तन देख रहे हैं. कहाँ एक बार बहुत ज्यादा प्लेयर्स होते थे, अब धीरे धीरे ड्यूओपली तक बात जाने वाली है. 2 या 3 प्लेयर होने वाले हैं, और हो सकता है कुछ लोग बात कर रहे हैं कि अल्टीमेटली एक ही प्लेयर रह जाए. तो अगर इस तरह की बात होने वाली है, तब और ज्यादा आवश्यकता है कि सरकार विशेष प्रकार के इंसेंटिव बजटरी एलिमेंट्स लेकर आए, ताकि ये मोनोपोली या ड्यूओपली वाली पोजीशन पे ना पहुंचे. क्योंकि अगर हम उस दिशा में चले गए, तो जो आज लोगों को सस्ता लग रहा है, कल वही चीज महंगी आकर उन्हें फिर दोबारा सताने वाले है. और पुराना इकोनॉमिक मॉडल है कि पहले चीज मुफ्त दे दीजिए और उसके बाद जब लोगों को आदत हो जाए, फिर आप जी भर के चार्ज करिए और लोग आपको देंगे. बट मुझे लगता है भारत एक प्रजातंत्र है, कहीं ना कहीं भारतीय संविधान के प्रावधानों से प्रेरित है और उन पर आधारित है। इसलिए अत्यंत आवश्यक है कि हम सरकार के दृष्टिकोण से देखें तो वो मोनोपोली या डियोपोली की दिशा पे ना जाए। इसके लिए पूरे टेलीकॉम इकोसिस्टम को सुदृढ़ बनाने के लिए, उसको पुनः से री-इंसेंटिवाइज करने के लिए आपको कुछ प्रोएक्टिव और नए अप्रोचेज आने की आवश्यकता होगी। क्योंकि अगर आप टेलीकॉम सेक्टर को बाहर निकाल देंगे तो आप समझ लीजिए कि इंटरनेट का इकोसिस्टम भी कहीं ना कहीं ठप होने वाला है। क्योंकि इंटरनेट आज हम एक्सेस कर पा रहे हैं, यूज कर पा रहे हैं, तो टेलीकॉम इको सिस्टम और उसके क्रिटिकल इंफॉर्मेशन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की वजह से। इसलिए उस क्रिटिकल इंफॉर्मेशन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को न केवल प्रोटेक्ट करना है साइबर सुरक्षा की सेंधों से, बल्कि साथ ही साथ उसको कॉन्स्टेंटली ग्रो भी कराना है। तो काफी चुनौतियां हैं। देखने में चीजें आसान लगती हैं, प्रैक्टिकली काफी ज्यादा समस्याएं आ रही हैं। अब आंखें हैं 1 फरवरी पर कि हो सकता है कि वित्त मंत्री जी किस तरीके से इस तरह की दुविधा को डील करने का प्रयास करते हैं।
दूसरी बात एक और है डिजिटल इकोनॉमी में ई कॉमर्स सेक्टर। और क्योंकि ई कॉमर्स सेक्टर में इतनी कंपटीशन है ग्लोबली, देयर आर सो मेनी बिग प्लेयर्स, Amazon is here and Uber is here. It is becoming a big challenge for our offline retailers and for our Indian companies. Jitin, how do you see this whole competition, this whole tussle between these two sections playing out, and do you think government should intervene?
I don't think government should get into the business of any business. They should stay away, and the only business, if at all, they want to do is that to have their own sort of online platform for purchasing goods for the government companies, and which they've already done. GEM, it is already there. So I think beyond that, they should stay away. It should not be like that you want to run a Flipkart or an Amazon for the common people of India. Please stay away from the business. It is a doctrine that government should not be in the business of business. Second, at the same time, you see, we have to protect Indian startups from competing with these giants like Amazon or even Indians like Flipkart. Just because Flipkart or Snapdeal, they were Indian companies, we should not turn away from the fact that even once they become the grown-up entities, we have a fundamental duty to provide a level playing field to the new startup, newcomers on the market. With respect to startups, there is a problem which everybody is facing after the rollout of GST, that you have started asking companies to pay GST as soon as you raise the invoice, and the payments are not coming for, years and years. So I think that reconciliation of this problem may happen in this budget, where you may say that, you only have to pay tax when you receive the payment, not in advance. People do not want to work with the government because you raise an invoice of 100 rupees, government wants you to pay 18 rupees tax on the very same day, but the payment will not come from the government for the next 1 year. The contradiction has to be removed. Second, and especially all the e-commerce sector, especially the foreign companies, I think some mechanism has to evolve where all invoices and all purchases happen under GST. Indians are not able to compete because if you want to buy electronic gadget from a foreign website, they raise an invoice without GST. You want to buy it from an Indian retailer, he is forced to raise an invoice with GST, and that creates a huge difference of 18% of amount. It is not only a loss to the common citizen, it is also a loss for 18% of revenue to the government. So I think these online reconciliation of conflicting economies, because sites are operating across the world. So something has to happen on this front. I don't know whether government will be able to take care of this technical point in this budget, or maybe they will deal with it separately.
Pawanji, we have heard this big figure of 1 trillion that digital economy of India will contribute to the whole GDP by 2025. How much of this will come from the e-commerce sector? What is the composition of this 1 trillion according to you in the days to come?
Hard to predict the exact figures, but clearly I see e-commerce playing an increasingly important and significant role in the overall accumulation of the 1 trillion economy. Currently, the levels are low, but when I'm looking at the next 5 years, I see substantial growth in e-commerce with increased adoption of e-commerce platforms and apps being the default and de facto way of doing business and the way of living and conducting your digital affairs is concerned. I expect the digital ecosystem to contribute quite a lot to this 1 trillion economy. Also contributing in a large segment to this 1 trillion economy would be the incomes or the monies generated by the critical information infrastructure. Also it would be imperative to see how India comes up with appropriate national schemes and approaches on monetizing data. Primarily because if data can be appropriately monetized in India by the government or by the Indian companies under enabling legal frameworks, that could also help to contribute to increasing the 1 trillion economy, primarily because India is one of the biggest generators of data. A large chunk of Indians are already becoming and have become global authors, global transmitters and global broadcasters of data. And in this context, if the budget can come up with more innovative approaches which encourages more and more Indians to start monetizing their data under controlled circumstances while maintaining the protection of their privacy and data protection rights, I think that will be wonderful.
So all eyes are on February 1st, as you already said, Pawan Duggal ji. Now, digital economy is the next big opportunity for the government. We will wait and see what are the policy pushes that the sector gets. Obviously, data is the new oil, and it is a great opportunity for India if we can monetize this data, use this data to put India on the growth path. Thank you so much, Pawanji and Jitenji, for joining us.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on pre-budget analysis on digital economy. The participants were cyber experts Jiten Kumar Jain and Pawan Duggal. Ruchika Chitravanshi, journalist, initiated and moderated the discussion. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can also listen to this program on our website, newsonair.com. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.